This episode of Spitball contains conversations regarding food, body image, eating habits, and disordered eating.
Is this dirty?
I thought that, I think maybe a little.
Okay.
I thought that would be a fun bit, but now I have like so much chapstick
Too
on.
much.
Like I'm over, you know what I call it when I'm overstimulated? I said I've gone to Stim City.
Stim City is great. You want to shout out that chapstick brand?
Do you see what it is?
Oh my God. Give him a shout out.
This is from the VIP experience at Universal Studios.
Wow. Rose fancy and takes VIP tours.
Have you ever seen the like the joke about how men like put like chapstick on where they're
over their mouth? Okay, yes. Matt did that literally for 4 years in college. Every single time I would see him, he'd be like, "One sec, I just gotta put on some chapstick." All right, I'm ready. And now I see Fabian do it too. He's like, "Hold on, I gotta put some stuff on my lips." And he's like,
Done. I didn't start using chapstick till I was like an adult.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, I feel like I got scared from chapstick a long time ago because I read something that was like, the more you use chapstick, the more you need chapstick.
That's literally, okay, that has been the reoccurring like lie of and I don't know if it's a lie, but you know how they say they're like, well, if you shave your arms, it'll come back 10 times thicker and darker. Or it's like...
That is true.
Is it?
I don't know. My arms and hair is just thick.
That's like the episode that you were telling us about the girl.
Hairy.
You're hairy.
You're hairy. And yeah, I gave up. Like, I used to, when I was in like high school, I was like, okay, great. I guess I'm going to shave my arms now. And then I would wax my arms and I would have them like all the time, just like without hair. But then I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I actually can't be bothered.
You should embrace the parts of you that make you beautiful in all types of different and unique ways.
I thank you.
Do I look like I have chicken grease all over my lips?
No.
Oh. Sorry.
You got so worried.
What is that from where it's like, this isn't lip gloss? Oh, it's a Vine. She's like, this isn't lip gloss. It's chicken grease.
Ew.
Logan will remember that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give a shout out to my chapstick.
Okay.
That I actually haven't put on yet.
You want some of mine?
Oh, thank you. It actually isn't chapstick. It is. They were handing this out at Barry's when I was leaving, so I just grabbed one, and it's from this brand called Suja. It's this plant-based, protein-packed shake, and this flavor is coffee bean. And get this.
Oh,
it has vitamins A, B, C, D, and E.
What happened to F and G?
Well, you can't just ask about F and G and not like want the other like 16.
Is that really how many letters are left in the alphabet?
There's 26, right? Or are there 22?
Are there 24?
Do I have to count?
Okay.
Just do it like mentally real quick.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. 26.
There are 26. See, I had it like 26? Locked away in my head. No, I think I said 26. And then you tried to say...
It was 24.
And then I was like 22. So there's 26.
Welcome back to the Brain Dead podcast.
Right. Well, there's 26, which means there's 5 of 26 in here.
Uh-huh.
And you excluded the other 19.
Good.
Yes.
Thank
you.
I don't check our TikTok like all that often. Like usually like we'll just like make the clips, put the clips up and like send them off into the universe.
Our team will.
Oh, right. Our team of really hot, sexy, productive workers will. But then I, as co-boss of this production company, I'm not bothered with it. So
Mordecai's
I don't look
the boss actually. So
duh. Right. I don't check it, but every once in a while I will. And it's so funny because like people on TikTok will like comment mean things about
Right.
us. They're like, women on a podcast.
Yeah.
These women are stupid.
Anybody can just buy a microphone, I guess.
I guess anyone can buy a microphone, and you're women, so I extra hate you.
Right.
And
it's usually one or the other. It's either like, what is this podcast? I need to watch it.
Like,
or
right.
this whack podcast is annoying.
right, and also because you're women, like they're always like really like misogynistic, dumb freak men freaks.
Yeah.
And it's just, I bring it up because I just can see somebody clipping that and being like, is this a podcast of two girls counting the letters in the alphabet?
And then we're like, okay, well, they only have vitamins A through E.
So if you're looking for F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, go somewhere else.
Are there actually any other lettered vitamins?
A, B, C, D, E.
Is there vitamin F? Is there vitamin G? Is there vitamin W? No way. No way there's a vitamin W.
Can I get a vitamin dub in chat?
Vitamin Z?
Is that good?
It's pretty good. Do you want to
try it?
Yeah.
I'll wipe my chicken grease off my
No, you
lip.
don't have to wipe your chicken grease. Take a sippy.
Okay.
Take a sippy of Suja. And Suja, I would love to try your other flavors. Just a saying. Good, right?
Yeah. I forgot to check it before. Oh, yeah.
Coffee bean. It has maca and cocoa. I don't know if there's any caffeine in there, though.
There is 60 milligrams.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be careful with things in LA. Like, people will be giving out free samples. Like, you know, in other places, it's like, free sample, try a little juice.
Yeah.
Here, it's like, free sample. Like, it's mushrooms.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the
You're so right. On the street, actually, you got to be way careful.
Yeah.
You can't just take it and be like, kale.
Like, literally, I was like, one time I was leaving my yoga studio, and they were like, do you want a shot? And I was like, what? And they were just giving out like shots. Like, they were doing injections of B12.
Oh.
For free.
Oh.
I was like,
because I was going to say at Barry's, they've done it before where they're like, there's literally tequila downstairs. You can go take a shot.
No, yeah, I've seen that too. And you're just like, okay. One of my first years working out in LA, I actually worked on, I made a demo of a commercial jingle for a popular athletic brand. And they were like, oh, come into the studio so we can like talk about what we're looking for this like jingle. And so I went, and they were like, by the way, there's a bar here in the office. And mind you, also some of us who might know that I am an addict. No, don't drink no more. And exactly, and not any. Well, I still, but sober. Back in the day, I was like, "There's a bar in this work environment."
Right.
I said, "I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom," and went and probably took 7 shots and came back. I was like, "It's about the jingle."
No, literally, I think that would be me.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
It's like, it's so crazy. It's like shit is just everywhere here.
Right. But it's actually quite perfect that we were discussing what we were drinking and putting on our mouths at the beginning of this episode.
Oh yeah,
because we would like to talk more about. See, I stopped myself that time. I was about to say something that I immediately
what
regretted.
we put in our mouths.
Exactly.
Instead of what we do in the shadows, new show, what we put in our mouths.
And that was hopefully it's usually food.
I want to tell you, I really, really like the glitter eyeshadow that you have on today.
Thank you so much. This brand sent me like a bunch of like liquid eyeshadow.
What
so
brand?
It's like I think it's Armani Beauty. I think it's
yeah.
Armani. So they sent me like 3, and it's like this shade, a slightly like bronzier one, and then one that's like just straight up gold.
No, it's really pretty. I feel like you like don't see people like pulling off like glitter eyeshadow well anymore.
Thank you so much. I didn't have my other palette actually literally when I was at the gym, and I was like, well, I guess I'll use this. So I'm glad that I did. Thank you. Now I'm gonna do it with the tongue. Okay, but we're gonna talk about food, and it makes sense because Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yes.
And you probably eat a lot of food at Thanksgiving. Probably. What are like the essentials at your Thanksgiving table?
I'm so in every like realm, I am always a sides girly because I'm a vegetarian.
Yes.
So I am going for, I will eat like my body weight in mashed potatoes. I love mac and cheese every day of the year.
Oh.
Mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. I was very apprehensive with Thanksgiving food for a long time. I didn't like indulge in stuffing.
Stuffing!
I was like scared of a lot of it. Sorry, I keep bumping with you.
You're good. You're good. Get comfy.
My dad's socks.
Stuffing is everything to me.
Stuffing's great. Go on.
Okay, I gotta say, like, green beans.
I was just about to say, like, I love like a glazed carrot.
I do like a glazed veg, but I'm not big on the veggies. If
Really?
you know me, I don't love my greens.
Really?
Yeah, I will eat them because I have to, but I don't really love vegetables. I used to hate mushrooms in college.
I don't like mushrooms.
But now I am obsessed with mushrooms.
Really?
Isn't
On
that
what?
weird? I don't know, like, when it changed. I think I probably tossed it into, like, my, like, pasta at some point, and now I'm obsessed with mushrooms. I can eat them all the time.
What are mushrooms bringing to the table? Like, what do they offer?
They're a fun guy.
Oh my God, end the episode. That was awesome, and we'll never do better. We'll see you in season 3, guys.
I think that they have some nutrients. I mean, they're technically a vegetable, so they have to be good for you, right?
Yeah. I feel that I'm trying to think of other like Thanksgiving sides. I mean, turkey.
Well, turkey is obviously the main event. I don't think I've engaged in eating turkey on Thanksgiving ever before.
Really?
I have a complicated relationship with turkey.
Sure.
I feel like growing up, I would eat it whenever I had to. But I would kind of always like rebel against it on Thanksgiving because I'd be like, it's just not my favorite meat, I guess. I'm coming around to it a lot more, again, especially because it's very good for you. It's a very healthy protein, too. So I've been eating a lot more turkey. And truly, it boils down to, as you know, I'm a very visual girly. I just need to look at the turkey. And if it looks appetizing, I will have some.
Okay.
But if it does not, like the last couple of years, Fabian makes great turkeys. This is not about how he makes a turkey. But the last couple Thanksgivings, I just feel like I haven't felt like I want to eat the turkey. I am also just plenty happy with the sides and the wine.
Yes.
I'm just fine with everything else.
Yeah, I feel that. I've always felt that the turkey is like the least like thing that I'm looking forward to. But I also don't eat meat. Like that was like back when I was. But yeah, I feel like I'm always like more excited about the sides, what they're bringing to the table, literally.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I went to Knott's Berry Farm and got lunch at this like Knott's Berry barbecue place, and they had like a vegetarian option, which was sides only dish.
Ooh.
And it was like, beans. I don't know if you do you eat beans on Thanksgiving? No.
I don't like beans.
You don't like oh God, I never know what they're called. Are they refried beans? Not the ones not like one in a burrito. It's like the ones that you have at a barbecue.
Pinto?
No. You don't like beans at all?
I don't like any beans. It's a texture thing for me on that.
Oh, sure.
I don't like the mushiness. I'm like, if I'm gonna bite, I need a crunch.
But have you ever had like a bean that's not like mushed up? Like it's just like black beans, like pinto, like.
I don't like black beans either.
Okay. Well, each their own.
I just don't like the frijoles, man.
So fair.
Just not a fan of it.
No.
But you got beans.
Oh, yeah. It was a sides plate, and it had mac and cheese, beans, cornbread, and mashed potatoes. And they have this boysenberry barbecue sauce there. And it was literally delectable, and I haven't stopped thinking about it.
That is something that we need to give a special shout out to, like sauces, like cranberry sauces, jams.
I think I held myself back from... That's my jam. I think I held myself back from sauces for a really long time.
Oh, really? Just in general?
When we were younger, my brother was a very picky eater. He is no longer a picky eater, he's still like, our family will still like have that in their head that he is, and he's not. But when he was younger, he really was. And I think by proxy, that made me like, he didn't want sauce on like anything. He didn't want ketchup. He didn't want anything that wasn't like marinara, like on like pasta or something like that kind of stuff. So I feel that I didn't like grow up in the sauce department. And
Interesting.
didn't like start experiencing things like honey mustard and like ranch until like much later.
Oh my gosh. I am, again, and this extends to all the time, I'm a big sauce girl.
Me
I'm
too.
not dipping, I'm drenching.
Yeah, I'm sauced up.
I need it to be a majority of the sauce. That's where the flavor is going to come from.
Yeah. Do you want to know a little secret about me?
Yes.
And if this is disgusting, I don't think it's disgusting, but I love.
You eat mayo.
I do eat mayo, but not like just on its own.
Right.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, that's what I thought you were going to say. I
I
love mayo too, just not with a spoon.
I thought for a long time I thought that mayonnaise was a fish. So anyways,
like a species, you were like, you find.
Can't you like, don't you like hear that being like, oh, that's a mayonnaise? Am I crazy for that?
You are absolutely crazy for that.
I think
that is an original thing. I think you can say that you are the only person who thought mayonnaise was a fish.
I really did. I thought when I was a kid and I heard mayonnaise, I was like, that's a fish.
And then like mayo was just like a nickname, or like it was baby fish.
I don't know. I guess I didn't think about it too hard. They were like this. I thought that whatever.
That's awesome.
And then when I started to learn what mayonnaise looked like, and although I still thought it was derived from a fish, there was a girl in my elementary school that used to eat peanut butter and fluff sandwiches, but I didn't know it was marshmallow fluff. I thought it was mayonnaise. So I was like, she's putting fish on her peanut butter.
Oh my God.
I think I was really thinking a lot of stuff wrong.
Even if not fish, peanut butter and mayo, I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, but that one's tough.
Yeah.
That one's tough. Let me ask you, do you have any specific things you like to eat on Christmas? Like, is any other holiday you think specifically tied in with food, or is Thanksgiving the only one?
Yes, absolutely. I also do want to tell you my quick little secret.
Oh my God, we didn't even get to the secret. I was like, yeah, you told me about the mayo.
No, totally okay. Just literally, it has to do with your sauce girlness. And it's just that I love watching like people do their like TikTok mukbangs or whatever, like people eating. And some people, apparently if you go to Cane's, like Raising Cane's, you can get like a soda cup full of the cane sauce. So some of these people, I'll show you one of the videos, they'll take like chicken and they'll dip it all the way in and out, and it's like...
Honestly, I'm only shocked. I'm not disgusted.
Yeah.
That cane sauce is delicious.
Yeah.
A soda cup of that probably costs them a lot because Cane's charges.
Yeah, I think, oh yeah.
25 cents. I used to work there.
Oh my God. You were Raising Cane's is crazy.
Chicken. With convoy chicken.
So crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Wait, so what's the secret?
Oh, that I watched those like videos. I don't think that's like a secret though. A lot of people are watching them. They got views. Yep. And I'll tell you what, my gripe with when people do like TikTok mukbangs or mukbangs in general is, and this is just a me thing, when these beautiful girls are eating, but they have so much lip gloss and lipstick on. It just like it's like they take like a big bite and you can see like their lip gloss on the food.
Oh no, I can't do that.
I'm like,
yeah.
Anyways, your question though, yes. I would like you to answer your question about Christmas.
I don't know if there's any other foods that I relate to holidays. I mean, obviously Halloween is for candy. I feel like when it comes to, I mean, and Valentine's Day too, right? You're also having like little sweets and candies and chocolates on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
With Christmas, yeah, there isn't necessarily a food that I would associate it with. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, on Christmas we're gonna have this because we always do it. You know, I don't think there is anything.
I feel like I shouldn't have put a lozenge in.
If she can subtly live there,
yeah, I think that can happen.
She can be there.
Maybe not. Maybe not food as much as desserts.
Ooh.
When I think of Christmas and holidays, I do think of desserts. Particularly Buckeyes. My mom used to always make those. They're kind of like peanut butter balls covered in chocolate.
Oh,
that sounds delicious. My aunt makes these like, oh, what are they called? They're like these like oh God, what are they called? I don't know what they're called apparently, but basically it's like this big slab of like almost like a thick cake with like icing slabbed and slathered over it, and then you roll it up so it's like a huge like swirly bun.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
forgetting.
yummy.
Yeah, it's really yum.
Yeah, I think you're right you're onto something with the desserts, because I feel like I could think of like Christmas cookies, Christmas pies. Pie is another one for Thanksgiving though.
You like pie?
I love pie.
I like a pumpkin pie. I
love pumpkin pie.
I like a blueberry pie.
I love a blueberry pie. I love a raspberry pie. I love an apple pie. I love a pecan pie. I love a key lime pie. I am a pie lover, and I don't know if I've ever actually identified with it, but I clearly am.
Wait, we should go, because we go to Republic of Pie like frequently. We should get you a pie.
Yes. No, I think I just answered my own question. I know why. It's because I just actually don't let myself have pie very often, because if I have it, I know I'm going to have so much of it. And with pie, you gotta have ice cream. So if I'm having a slice of pie, I need ice cream on top. And then I'm just like, and now I feel like shit. So I don't let myself have pie very often, but on Thanksgiving, you better believe I'm going to stuff myself with pie.
You're pie hole.
I'm pie hole.
Hey, pie hole, I'm dab. Left hand shake.
Left hand shake.
Yeah, I think that there are specific. Oh, I will tell you, like, I know for Christmas, like Brie, like she loves like Christmas ham. Some people do that.
Okay.
Some people
Meat.
can't. That thing.
All right.
Yeah. This is completely going off of holiday food track. I want to ask you this because it was a conversation that me and Bridget were having recently. What is your like ranking of artificial fruit flavors in candy?
Oh boy.
Like
All right.
You're thinking like Laffy Taffy like vibe. Like I'm talking like strawberry, that kind of like fruit flavors in artificial candy. What's the best to worst for you?
Number 1, watermelon across the board.
Oh my God.
Watermelon, everything. Number 2 is lime. I absolutely love anything. So usually those are the greens of everything, like green Airhead Bites, green Skittles, greens of all that. Give it to me.
Wow.
And if it's green apple, how dare you?
You don't like it?
No.
Oh.
I mean, it's fine, but it's like I was excited for watermelon or lime.
Oh,
so
I see.
I think watermelon, then lime, then I'll grab a strawberry, I think.
Sure.
Some sort of like pink version, so strawberry or a raspberry alike. Then I think we'd go into territory of orange. I usually like an orange. I wouldn't mind that. Underneath orange would be like a blueberry or blue raspberry.
Okay.
And then down at the pit bottoms, we have like the cherries and the apples and the mystery flavors. Get the fuck out of here with your mystery flavor. I want to know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And that's just me not liking surprises, but I don't want a mystery.
That's like the little lollipops you used to get at the dentist or something, where you would suck the candy for just a little bit and then the stick would turn to disintegrated paper and be gross. And remember, they would have the question mark one and it was white.
Dude, yes, obviously, because I never reached for it.
Yeah.
I would be like, why is it a question mark?
Right.
I want an exclamation point, and I have that with the green one.
And it's not really even like a mystery. Like, it's not a flavor.
It's just no flavor.
Yeah.
It's just like, let me give you disgusting, and you'll be questioning yourself.
It's like at the lollipop factory, they just took all the flavors and like put it in a bin and were like, make a flavor out of this.
They were like, we have some leftover of all the flavors, but not enough to make one, so let's just put them all together and make it taste like vomit.
Okay. Make it taste like vomit and then feed it to kids.
Right. What about you?
So I'm going to go ahead right at the top. I'm going blue raspberry.
You would.
You would do that.
You would do that.
I love blue raspberry.
Okay.
I'm going to go
cherry.
No, I don't love cherry. It's hard because, well, it's more so that I feel very strongly that I like blue raspberry a lot.
Yeah.
And then the others kind of fall
in
the category. I'm going to go blue raspberry. I like a lemon.
Lemon.
Like a lemon. In my head, I've been drinking these, well, in real life, I've been drinking these electrolyte packets. So right now, and they're all these flavors. So I'm thinking about my favorite flavors in them.
Those are hard to drink.
Electrolytes?
I feel like I'm just like, I miss water.
I'll get you a good brand that I like.
Okay.
It's like fun water. I just did a commercial audition for a very popular electrolyte brand, and I'm hoping
All right, yeah, give me the rec. I feel like, again, I feel like I'm talking about berries so much, but like whenever I'm leaving, there's like a pack of electrolytes, and I was about to grab like one that they were showcasing, but then Logan was like, don't get that one. So I know that there are bad ones.
I just bought a pack from this one brand, and I won't say their name, but I am mad at you. They were so bad. I used to vape. I quit in January of 2021. But literally, I was like, this electrolyte packet tastes exactly what it tastes like to have a burnt out vape with a single drop of juice left over, and you're like sucking for it. And I literally was, and it was exactly, and all my friends that I've been like, please smell this electrolyte packet. This is a burnt vape, right? And they'd be like, oh my God, yeah. And it tasted like it too. Oh, I gave them away. I was like,
no, I can't. That's why I'm just like, I don't know if I can do electrolyte water, but you can convince me.
Yeah, there's good packets. So I'm thinking blue raz. I like a lemon flavor. I like an orange flavor. I like a strawberry. Maybe like regular raspberry.
Yeah.
I do like green apple, but it's down here.
Yeah.
Maybe green apple and strawberry around the same spot.
Okay. Where's watermelon?
Grape is...
grape.
I'm going to put grape and watermelon and banana like all together kind of towards the bottom.
Oof, okay, you have me with banana and grape at the back.
But you know what? Do you drink Spindrift?
No, I'm not a big sparkling water woman. I don't like sparkling water. I know it's a really, really poor take that I have. So many people are obsessed with like LaCroix and Spindrift.
I love sparkling water, especially like, now. And they have such good flavors, and Bridget's been getting the grape flavor, and it's really good.
Maybe I just haven't had the right experience with it, but again, I feel like I drink these other alternatives and I just want water.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You're in a good position if you have a preference for water, because a lot of people actually struggle with getting their like recommended water intake because they're just like, I just don't like it.
No, I drink a lot of water, as everybody should.
The reason I drink a lot of electrolytes in my water is because I do it when I'm working out, and for whatever reason, I've trained my brain for when I'm doing a hard workout to have the electrolytes. I'm like, this is the fun part. I get a little fun taste.
Oh, I do like that. I do like that.
When I go to hot yoga, and it's like, I won't touch my water bottle for like as long as possible, because a lot of times they'll encourage that you like don't drink water for like the first 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And then when I do, I'm like, wait, it's a fun flavor.
It's a fun little treat. I feel like that all the time too, when like you have to give yourself like little rewards or little like do little this somethings. And then you'll get this. Mm-hmm. Love that. Okay, well, I loved the ranking of the flavors. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
What are like your favorite like candies though overall? Like, do you have a favorite dessert? Or actually, yeah, let me extend that past. Like, I want to hear your favorite candies, but like, would you rather a candy over a cake, over a cookie, over a pie, over a brownie? Like, what form of dessert are you really reaching for?
If it's like it depends on the circumstance.
I see.
What about you?
I mean, like what if like Dustin came in here right now and he was like, hey guys, I got you. What would you be most excited about? Like cookies?
If Dustin walked in here right now with something, I would want it to be cookies.
Cookies.
But that's because this is like a cookie vibe.
If
Dustin walked in right now and it was like time to cut the cake, I'd be like, I'm good. He's
like turning the stove on right now. He's
right now. It's like, they want cookies. They want cookies.
Cookies. They said cookies. Throw the pie away.
Mordecai, get on it. I feel like it all comes down to circumstance. I love, like the other day after dinner, we were deciding what we wanted for dessert, and we walked by a cookie place, and we had originally been wanting ice cream, and I was like, I'm sorry, I unfortunately am going to need a cookie now. But let's say it's my birthday, and like I really want like a good like birthday dessert. I'm getting the red velvet cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, I love red velvet.
I love red velvet too.
What are your thoughts on the myth
that it's just chocolate dyed red? Is that true?
I think it's true.
I don't.
No, it's not. It's whatever
I feel like
to keep you from falling apart.
I feel like it's not true.
I mean, I think it's just our brains telling us it tastes different because it's red. I'm sorry.
Well, I love anything. Here's another way you can get me. If you're like, this has a cream cheese filling.
Interesting. That is probably the equivalent to me with chocolate. Chocolate, anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
Okay.
I am such a chocolate girl. It's crazy. I think I told you this a while ago too. My mom told me that when she was pregnant with me, she was craving two things: chocolate and McDonald's.
Oh.
And she consistently got those. And then when I popped out, she like no longer, well, one, she's vegetarian now. And two, she like doesn't really enjoy chocolate anymore. And so I'm like, well, that's why I'm the way that I am.
Yeah, she passed it on to you.
She was like, take it and get out.
Okay.
And now I love chocolate.
So it's good to have like a little go-to treat. That's why it's like, I say it's like circumstantially like different. Like I'm not going to like go home and want cake, but I am going to want a little something sometimes. And that's why I always keep in my drawer at home the Trader Joe's peanut butter cups.
Oh my God. Those are not allowed in my house.
Because you can have, the serving is 3, which I think is great. You just have your 3 little cups of treats. I mean, you could match, it's good.
I actually do want to have that conversation. And, I just want to say before we get into that too, of just like potential conversation of like just food behaviors and like, everybody has a different relationship with food. And I would like to kind of get into that a little bit more. So just putting that out there in case that is not your vibe and something that you necessarily want to hear us talking about. But I would love to discuss it because it is pretty, I think, widely known that, most women specifically will have some sort of disordered eating growing up. And so I just kind of wanted to acknowledge that too, because I can already hear myself saying things like, I'm not letting myself have that, or like, that's not allowed here and that's not allowed there. And I have to, just acknowledge that that's still me trying to mend my relationship with food.
Sure.
And I personally, it has fluctuated a lot for me. I think when I was growing up, I never policed myself on what I was allowed to eat. And then I was bullied for my weight. And that was the moment that it was like, oh my gosh, okay. So apparently everybody cares about what I look like. And now I have to start caring about that. And I remember having a period of time where I just was so unbelievably strict with myself. Like, I just was like, lettuce is all I can have. Like, lettuce, and it is obviously a very dangerous way of behaving and thinking. But it was just kind of what I had like twisted my mind into believing what was okay.
Yeah.
And then, I definitely had this switch back to it where I was like, no, I can have treats and I can allow myself to eat good and stuff like that. And for me, it was like, there was a time that like, I remember after school, I would just have like a spoon of Nutella. And it was always just like something that I just like looked forward to. And I was like, gosh, this is so good and whatever. And again, it has then developed back into being like, okay, well now, like where I am in my life today, I think is a lot healthier in that I definitely emphasize healthy eating and, protein first and stuff, especially even though I just was like, fuck veggies. They're obviously still important to my diet. And the way that I try to live now is having like dessert mostly on the weekends. If it's a weekend, I'm just kind of like, yes, I get to like treat myself or whatever. But during the week, I feel like I try to be like, no, I just want to do some healthy eating during the week and stuff like that. But I'm curious to hear kind of the patterns that you have developed with allowing yourself these treats.
Yeah, I feel that like eating is such like a touchy topic. And I want to like choose my words carefully and stuff because it's certainly something that I have spent the greater bulk of my life feeling stressed and anxious about. But I think as I've gotten older, I have really kind of ditched the idea that like, how do I say this? The idea that it's like, I've ditched the idea that I have to be like good looking. I don't know. Like it's more so that it's like I've prioritized the kind of eating that fuels my body and makes me feel good and powerful and alert. And what a privilege to be able to like be a healthy, able-bodied person. So I feel like I've pivoted a lot of my eating habits. Like when I was a teenager, I'd starve myself all the time. Like I was like, this is the way. And it's like, no. And I feel like I've done the work and whatnot to just be like, no, my body's a machine that needs to be powered. And to power it, I need to have food. And that means that for the majority of the time, I should eat mindfully with good intention towards the greater like power of my body. But that's not to say that I can't indulge every once in a while in something that makes me feel good in my heart, like like my Taco Bell online deals cravings box.
And absolutely so. Like those are the little things I feel like that can make you feel really good. And it's like it's definitely like in a way a little reward, right? Like you and I particularly are also big fitness people. We love working out and taking classes and stuff like that. And those are really strong indicators of leading a healthy life. So now you can enjoy a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I know I always get caught in, no, I'm doing all these classes. Why would I have a treat? Like I'm doing so well. And it's like, no, there's a balance.
I want to take advantage of the body that I have been privileged enough to have and the capabilities that it has gifted me and do the things that I am capable of doing to feel good for the sake of feeling good and taking care of myself. I really don't care that much anymore these days about being the most fit person. I just want to take care of myself. And I feel it like when I don't eat the best, like if I, eat in a way that is not suitable for me for a few days straight, I'll feel it and then I'll correct it and then I'll move on and I won't be mean to myself. I mean, I do, and that's in a night, like on a good day. There's days where I have hard times. Body image is all around us and it's really, really hard. And the pressure that gets put on, especially women and young people and stuff, it's just bizarre. And it's like, I don't know when we all started caring so much about each other's bodies.
Did you ever track your calories? You went through like a MyFitnessPal situation or something like that? I did MyFitnessPal. I don't use that anymore because I felt like that app felt like the equivalent of like sitting in a cold dungeon. I do still track my eating today. For a couple of reasons. And it's not something that like I'm encouraging. I'll just tell you why I do it. Because I intermittent fast. I also am a vegetarian. So I have to be specific about how I'm receiving my protein. And I feel that when I track through the Lose It app, which is like, again, a bad name, but that's the app I use. I have a good way to track the protein that I'm intaking. And I also have... This is weird and there's no diagnosis or whatever, but like I talked with my doctor about this recently and she literally was like, oh yeah, that's a common thing, but there's not like a treatment for it because there's nothing like really wrong with you. But I have a more rapid moving blood sugar than most people. So I experience really, really weird highs and lows when I eat and when I digest. Like it's very strange. Like I've had times if I eat like a really carb heavy meal, I'll feel very disassociated, and sometimes like I'll even get like kind of like my eyesight will get kind of blurry. Like I get like a little dizzy and weird. And my doctor at least says, she's like, it's just a more rapid rocket and fall of like your blood sugar.
So that to say, I also keep a food journal about how specific meals and foods have made me feel. So I know that if I ate something and it made me feel really bad after, like in that term, I won't eat it as frequently.
You know, I don't think that there is a problem with any of that. I don't think it's like you're tracking your food, that's bad. You're not tracking your food, that's bad. It's not about whether one thing is right or wrong. I think it's definitely for sure doing what is best for you specifically is inside of your own health matters. But also, like, it's kind of like what we said with balance and moderation. I think counting your calories and food tracking has gotten a really bad rep now, which in a way is good. You know, we've maybe moved away from this pressure of focusing so much on how much you're eating. But now on the other end, I feel like there is also a shame toward those who do choose to monitor what they're eating. And I think as long as you are still being healthy and not, you know, losing sleep over the bag of chips that you had, then it probably is all right for you to track your calories, as opposed to somebody who is maybe still going through a lot of the disordered eating or some of the mindsets that aren't exactly the most healthy, that maybe it's not the best to like write all the information down of the foods that you're eating. Like, it's just a case-by-case basis. You have to do what's right for you. And overall, I think the key is moderation. Anything that you have in an extreme is not going to be good for you, whether it's 100 pounds of chocolate or 100 pounds of fruit. Like, in both ways, it's just like, that's not great for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely convoluted and crazy. I had something that I wanted to say. How did you start that last statement?
About tracking calories. It's okay if some people do, some people don't.
I think it really just once again comes down to like what we always say, where it's like, as long as you are being healthy to yourself and you are not like affecting, like projecting that onto like others and whatnot, because some people are on like fitness journeys and they're trying to do things like cut or bulk, and they do have to pay attention to the macros that they're taking in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I want everyone to understand that your gut is like the mitochondria of your entire functioning body. There's this book called The Mind-Gut Connection, and it's very enlightening. If you've like never read it, you should. But it really does talk about how your gut like sends signals and receptors like to your brain to produce the things inside of it that like bring us joy and help us sleep well and give us more patience. And like there's all these like transmitters that are happening throughout your body that are like literally like originating from your gut.
Yeah.
So what you eat does matter in a sense. Like there's, you know, a lot of fermented stuff is really good for your gut, I think. Listen, I'm not a nutritionist, but like literally I'm a freak and I keep sauerkraut in my fridge, and every once in a while I'll eat like a little bit of sauerkraut because it's like good for you. Or like L-glutamine in the morning. I'll drink my L-glutamine before I take my coffee. And that has my gut feeling good. So it's like, I can think of so many times where I felt really depressed. And one thing I hate more than anything, I don't know if you feel this way, brain fog gives me more anxiety on this earth than like any other like feeling that I experience. It's like when I wake up and I feel brain foggish, I just feel like I'm not, like the whole day doesn't even matter because I'm just riding passenger to myself.
I see.
And
is this kind of like the disassociation that you were talking about a while ago?
For me it is, but brain fog is just kind of like that cloudy feeling where you can't like seem to focus, or you can't seem to like process, and feeling kind of weird and out of it. I get a lot of really bad brain fog when I have hormonal changes in my menstrual cycle.
Interesting.
So all this to say that when I'm not eating well with my gut in mind, it leads to brain fog. And when I have brain fog, my whole body feels out of whack.
Yeah.
So it's something I have to keep an eye on. And again, not for any purpose like externally, but just so that I can feel good.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Like what you eat, it affects more than just the look of your body, the size of your body. It's not necessarily going to be directly related. What's interesting too, I remember, this kind of ties in the exercise and fitness aspect that we've been talking about as well. Like even when you are trying to get fit, 80% of it is your diet. Like working out is obviously wonderful and it's great to build muscle and tone, but mostly it is your diet. So if that is something that you are reaching for as a goal, again, in any sort of way, whether you're a bodybuilder or like you're just training to run a marathon or something like that, it's totally fine to be able to track what you're eating and do it in a healthy way that doesn't foster these unhealthy habits that so many of us grew up thinking.
I feel like because I was a cheerleader, I was put like at the forefront of this opportunity to really grapple with my body image, because in cheerleading, you have positions that are genuinely based on the body type that you have. Like if you're tall, you're a back. If you are like strong and like kind of like medium height, you're a base. And if you're petite, you're a flyer. And so, that was something that like people would always kind of like, and I was always a back because I was tall and I was strong. And obviously I would have never been a flyer. And so like I felt like that was something that I would hear like boys at school say, like when talking about cheerleading, they'd be like, "Are you a flyer?" Like joking because they knew I wasn't, because I'm not a petite person. My literal anatomical build would have never allowed for me to do that position. But yet I was still shamed for being a back, even though I was extremely athletic. And then I was told things by my coaches. Like, I remember, I'll never forget, I had this traumatizing coach, and she told me I tumbled like a man because I tumbled with strength and power. And that like really stuck with me, like I was doing something wrong. And and also like within the world of cheerleading, diet pills were encouraged. People were always, I remember like one time my coach made a big deal out of the fact that she was like, "Okay, everyone got their uniforms? You got your uniform? Great, all new uniforms. And Rowan, yours is coming later. We had to order you a size bigger."
Oh!
Yeah, I remember she did that to me and another girl. And I was just always like, I look back at myself in high school and I was like, I'm an athletic looking person and I was still being made to feel bad about my body, which to me is just the circle of insecurity that our society has embedded in one another to feel bad about yourself and project it onto everyone else around you.
Somewhere along the line, this idea of small and petite just became so attractive, especially on women. It was just like, oh, like you need to be thin and small, and that is what's flattering. And anybody who wasn't that was just devastated and disappointed and then desperate to try to become that, which is why so many of us fall into these, again, like disordered eating or full-on eating disorders, because you're dying to just be smaller. And it can be whether it's like a coach, a mentor, a grown-up, a parent, a friend, just some comment. It just takes one. And then it plants inside of your head and you literally are never the same. Yeah. For me, it was the bullying, right? Like I didn't think about it before. I would pass mirrors and just not look. I just literally didn't care. And then the second that I was understanding that other people were talking about my body, it became, okay, well then I need to just adjust and I need to look at this. And every time I look at a photo now, I just have to zoom in real quick and I need to look at my arms and, I need to see if I have a double chin and I need to see how big I look here. And it's just so unbelievably toxic. You know what, too? It translates directly into the stuff that you were talking about, too, with diet pills, or there's so many confusing components of dieting in general, right? Like all of these random things like the fermentation or whatever the hell people are selling to us, where it's like, take this, it'll make you small. Take this, it'll make you fit. Take this, you'll never feel like you have to eat ever again.
Right.
Like, how are we supposed to keep up with that and discern what is actually healthy, what is a good option for us to try, versus what is just something that people are just trying to sell to us because they know that we're desperate?
And it's like, it's so messed up to think about like what we were going through at such a young age. I went to my doctor and I said, I'm having a hard time focusing, so that I could get on Adderall so that I could be quote unquote skinny, whatever that is, you know, like, and thinking, look, because people had told me if you get on Adderall, it's like a diet suppressant or whatever. And it's like the things that I was willing to put myself through that might have not been good for my brain in the moment, just because I thought that it's like what everyone wanted of me, is just like, is really insane. And I feel like we're also like, I don't know, I want to see us as people continue to move past the compulsion to identify people by their external look. Like I try to do, if someone ever like is like, oh, like at my job, right? Someone will be like, oh, I'm with this person today. What do they look like? And I'll be like, oh, they've got like, they're wearing a ball cap. They've got the bag on that's like a black strap with a little like pin. And they're wearing like white sneakers or something, instead of like people that like right now like choose to be like, oh, this is their skin color, this is their body type, and this is like their hair color or something.
Right.
There's so many other ways to define people and describe them outside of like what they are.
I love that. I think that's just a much more productive way to start moving as a society. So then when we look at each other, we aren't needing to categorize. We aren't needing to be like, what are you? And how do I feel about you? And I need to process all of the things that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't. You really don't have to do that.
I had a lot of people in my first few months of sobriety come to me privately, and I hadn't been telling a lot of people that I had entered into recovery, but a lot of people were coming up to me and they were like, you look completely different. Like you've lost a lot of weight and like you look great, like, and which I appreciated, because to me I was like, I've lost weight because I'm recovering and I'm getting healthy, and I've removed myself of this toxicness that lived within me for so long. And so I was happy to hear that I was looking good and radiant and stuff. But there was one person who I liked what she said. She came to me and she was like, I just want to let you know you look healthier. I can tell like that you have had a change in your body, and I hope that it's in a healthy direction. And if it's not, you can talk to me. Essentially, where I was like, she left the door open for the possibility that like, because sometimes you say to someone like, you've lost a ton of weight, and they're not meaning to. Right. And something's up.
It's
and you want to be
then.
Considerate of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're so right. Like, we do need to be just a little bit more mindful when we think we might be throwing somebody a compliment. Yeah. Because, there's a way to go about it. I feel like if I notice some sort of change in another person, obviously if I'm commenting on this, they're hopefully a friend of mine. But the way that I kind of like to lift people up in that too is be like, have you been working out?
Yeah.
Because who doesn't love to hear that?
Yeah.
I mean, again, most of the time I feel like that's me being like, you're looking fit, you're looking strong, like, or you just look like more active, healthier, you look like you have more energy, more light and stuff like that. And usually that is because people are taking care of themselves. They're specifically giving some healthy focus over onto their body. And I think tossing that out just feels a lot better than specifically bringing in the aspect of weight or size when complimenting each other. It's not you've lost weight or you're looking smaller, you're looking skinny, you're looking thinner. Just instead being like, have you been working out? You're looking so strong. You look so fit. Assigning like a little bit of different descriptions when it comes to a better or healthier way of living.
Yeah, I agree. I get insecure all the time, as everyone does. Something will get said to me and it will send me into a spiral. And it's more so just continuing to try. I really think at the forefront of your endeavors should just be what is working for you to make you feel the best.
What are your thoughts on people like on TikTok who are like, what I eat in a day?
I actually watch a lot of those because I love getting new ideas for recipes.
Same.
there was one girl that was going around recently that was like really like promoting eating disorder, like disordered eatings. Like I forget her name, but because I watch a lot of those what I eat in the day things because I like to plan out what I'm going to eat and when and what workouts I'm doing. It's just what makes me feel good.
Totally.
But this girl, God, I wish I remember her name because she was like the worst.
I think I know what you're talking about too. It was like somebody who was like what I eat in a day, and their breakfast was like berries, and then the lunch was like a granola bar, and then the dinner was like a salad. Like promoting kind of that behavior. I agree with you. I find I use TikTok for inspiration all the time when it comes to workouts, recipes, charcuterie board crafts, like whatever it is. And I treat the what I eat in a day as that too. I think particularly what I don't love is when people maybe put more on the caption, like what I eat in a day as a 95-pound woman living in Los Angeles who isn't like,
oh yeah,
because then I'm just like, well, now there's more room for comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's too much of like, okay, well, I weigh this much and I guess I want to look like you do, so I guess I'm going to have less than what you're having,
I really do think I've broken out of the matrix, though, of like literally every single thing I look at these days. I'm like, none of this is real. It's not real. I don't waste time feeling bad about myself because I'm like, this video I'm watching might have been the reality of your day today because today is the day that you were making content.
Right.
You're not like this all the time.
No.
And I'm not like this all the time. No one should be looking at a video. No one should watch a TikTok and be like, oh, that girl's doing that all the time. She's so much better than me. No, she's not. She set up her camera to show you what a day looks like when she is doing it.
And then it is up to everyone else's imagination to be like, that's happening all the time. And
Right.
And it's just, that's why I really love the people who are like, realistic about it sometimes, where they're like I've seen it a lot with fitness TikToks too, where they like put up the camera and they like don't suck in their stomachs or like flex or anything, and they're like, this is what I look like when I'm doing a bicep curl. And it's like, yeah, thank you for actually showing it, and there will always be some sort of facade when a camera is running. It's always going to be some sort of like mental component of like, okay, there's a camera running, there's some filter that's going to be put on this. So I absolutely agree that it's just much healthier for everyone involved to just not believe what they're seeing. Social media is just so crafted, and when you look to that for something so pivotal and crucial as your diet and your fitness behaviors, like it shouldn't be imitation for any other reason than inspiration.
Right. And I appreciate the content creators that do make that content because it helps me to actually establish elements that I do actually bring into my daily routine. Like I have a folder of collections on TikTok that are workout reference videos that I really like.
Yeah.
And I have my weekly split laid out with like things that I've crafted from those videos. So I'm appreciative. I have recipes saved from people who make those videos. Like one thing I'm on right now is protein overnight oats. So like that's where I get so I appreciate it, but I'm also not going to not get started on my routine because yours looks a little bit better than mine because it's on camera.
Another reason why it's so detrimental when there are young kids on TikTok, because they aren't actually able to make that connection of, okay, it's not real, it's social media. So they see particularly a lot of these creators and think that's what's happening all the time, and then it's really hard for them to be able to discern it because again, they're kids. They don't know what's happening, so they're watching all of that and being like, well, I need to do the exact same thing, I need to be like this, I need to be like that, I need to live this sort of life. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like we're 20-somethings and we're having a hard time. How could possibly an 11-year-old on TikTok know how to navigate all of this content that has to do with their body?
That's like what I've seen like young kids like show up on my For You page that are like, it's like they're like a young girl and like her phone's like propped up in front of her vanity mirror and she's like, hey guys, get ready with me story time. And it's like they're so young, like doing, like mimicking what we've seen like adult women like do. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
I'm like, we don't need to be doing this. I mean, make content that makes you happy, but don't feel like that you have to fit in with the mold that is the allure that is social media.
You know what,
or
though?
Illusion, rather.
I will say, if I had TikTok when I was a younger kid, I probably would have been a lot cooler, though. I probably would have been, like, separate from the content that we're specifically referring to, is just thinking about it. Like, by means of, like, makeup and outfit trends and, you know, fads overall, I just feel like I was so unaware of the zeitgeist when I was growing up that I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm slow. I'm behind. I'm not keeping up. And you know, who knows? I'm sure in a lot of ways I would have been very frustrated because TikTok is also largely selling things. It's so much consumerism, and I know I would have just gotten angry at the stuff that I couldn't have and buy myself. But there's a way of almost like updating everybody by means of what's going around on TikTok that, you know, we all are like, okay, got it. I have to hop on to this now, or this is something that everybody knows. And if I'm not doing this, I'm uncool. Yeah. And, you know, that's obviously not the truth. That's not a factual thing. You can do whatever it is that you want. But when you're younger, it's, as we discussed with the 2000s episode, it is so unbelievably important to fit in at the time. Like developmentally, you're just like, I need to be like the people around me. And it's hard sometimes to know what the people around you are doing. And TikTok kind of lends itself to that now for those younger kids.
Yeah. I was on Tumblr when I was young, so I think I was traumatized.
Yeah.
But that's how I tried to stay in the loop of what's cool and what's not.
Listen, I'll keep saying it. Pinterest.
Oh, yeah.
Pinterest.
Do you remember? Okay, this is a really deep cut. Were you ever on Wanello? That's like such a deep cut.
Wanello. Can you spell it?
It's like Wanelo. Wanello?
I don't think so. But the Anello part sounds familiar.
It was very like Pinterest-esque. I think Wanello was want, need, love. And it was like you just would like pin like things.
Wait,
like,
oh my God. Wait, I think I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just, it honestly was just like a Pinterest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It.
Yeah, you just like unlocked that in me.
I know, right?
I loved doing that stuff too. Again, it's just like, the best way I can describe it is it's just inspiration.
Yeah.
Like I do that literally still whenever I like don't know what to wear the next day. I just look up like fall outfit and then I'll like scroll through and I'll be like, wait, I have something like that. Oh, and I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me do that. And then put it together.
I literally just started a brand new job and I was like, this is my first job in my adult life where I am not wearing a uniform.
Yes.
And except for like PA work that I've done in acting jobs, obviously. But I was like, whoa, I have to like now have outfits like for like kind of a business casual environment, which I have found out it's not. It's like everyone just wears whatever. Like it's
good.
Nice.
It's cozy.
It's good. It's like everyone just wears kind of normal stuff. It's nothing too like crazy. But you know,
nice.
I like made a whole Pinterest board of ideas and went shopping and got some stuff.
Fun.
Which was cute. I was gonna say something else about
retail shopping is also food of some sort. Definitely feeds you.
Oh yeah, retail therapy. It doesn't feel as good these days. God, what was I gonna say? Ugh, you were talking about being on I think I'm just done with social media.
Oh
yeah, I think I'm done and I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Really,
I'm feeling really like I am feeling. Obviously I like can't get rid of it because obviously I like keeping my eye on Spitball and I think, you know, for casting, like they want to see like proof of life a little bit and stuff, but I am like really over it. Every single time I get on Instagram, I can't make it like 4 seconds without getting an ad. I can't scroll through like my stories to see my friends without like 5,000 ads, and they're like usually about weight loss or about something that's being sold to me. Or then it's like I scroll to the next story and it's like the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. And like same with TikTok, it's just it feels like I can't even get to the content creation because everything's an advertisement. And then when I finally get to the content that's been created, it makes me feel horrible.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, you bring up a good point too, actually, that reminded me of a way of like connecting that back to food as well. Like we're definitely in a trap here, being in the industry and kind of being, I don't want to say forced, but a little, it's certainly in our favor to have social media as actors. And it's not going to be completely terrible if you don't have it, but it's like, yeah, there's definitely this thing that would be a lot better for a lot of people if we didn't have to have it, or if it didn't a lot of the time also connect to our income, you know, like that's also now a part of the job. But another reason too, I think the industry also connects right back into body image and food, you know?
Big time.
And I think that's definitely something that I have had to really redefine as well, because as of the last pretty much 2.5 years, I'm on camera consistently. And that feels like I really have to walk the line of feeling motivated by that and not trapped by that. I don't want to be like, I can't eat that, I'm on camera tomorrow. Like, I don't want that. But I also want to be able to, in a very healthy way, be able to be like, you know what? I want to be able to watch this and not feel bad about the way that I look, or I want to be on set tomorrow and feel really good. I'm actually okay without that, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it comes down to language. It's difficult when on social media we're being exposed to a lot of the unhealthy language, but if there's a way to almost steer around it and find something kind of like we've been saying that makes it work for you and makes it most comfortable and healthy in your body, then do it.
I think you're right. I like what you say about language, because it really is the words that we use and the intentions that they're used with that define the results, you know? And it's like, I had a yoga teacher once say this quote that I really liked. Let me think of it really quick. Sorry.
Okay.
It like, words are, it was something along the lines of, words are spells, they cast magic, and your body doesn't know the difference between the truth and a joke, so speak kindly to yourself.
Ooh.
And that really stuck with me. Obviously, I had to like recall it for a moment, but it really is like, you have to speak to yourself with intention. And I like how you say like changing the narrative, and also like, listen, we can't all like take like a minute to think about the next thing that we're going to say, obviously all the time, but words are really, really loaded. And especially when it comes to things that are sensitive, like someone's like eating or anything, it's like you really want to be, because you might be looking out for someone's best interest, but it's just about the words that you choose to use and stuff.
I absolutely agree. And you're so right that it's scary sometimes how careful we have to be with our words, but especially with this topic, like I hope that we were able to communicate effectively and in a way that resonates with a lot of people. But keep in mind too that we're also still going through it, you know, like we're also still like learning and adjusting and developing in a lot of ways. By no means am I saying I'm on the other side of it. I'm now a healthy queen and I love how much I eat and my body and I feel completely confident in it. Like that's not necessarily something that we can get to at such a young age, even being young adults. So I say that just kind of also by means of being kind to ourselves.
Yeah.
Give yourself that grace of, you know, definitely being cautious and being kind to yourself, but also being kind to yourself when you mess up, when you make that mistake of like, oh, no, I don't deserve that. And then being like, no, I don't want to say that to myself. I deserve a treat. I just don't want it right now. Or I won't have it today. I'm going to give myself that tomorrow. Watch your language, monitor it, and just continue to get better.
Yeah, I completely agree. I also want to say one tip that I think I've learned in my lifetime that's really, really beneficial and has been to me is, because I feel like our audience usually falls into the same age range as us or younger. Don't compare your adult body to your teenage body. It's not the same. It's completely different. You have gone through so many things. You've gone through new traumas, new stresses, new hormones, maybe new medications, new experiences. Please don't try to convince yourself that it would be normal for you to be the same sizes and measurements as you were when you were a child. It's completely unrealistic and will only lead you to feel unfulfilled. And it's stupid. Enjoy and welcome your adult body and take care of it.
I love that. I think that's a great spot to actually wrap it up. I think for our Spitball, we just accidentally gave some of our tips.
I like how in the beginning, because I knew the conversation was going to go here, and I think you did too.
Yeah.
But we were like just being like, so what's your favorite candy?
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about the ins and outs of body image.
Is there a vitamin W?
And
then we were like, take care of yourself.
Close us out, Rashi.
Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this in some way helped. Navigating food, your body image, all of that stuff is really, really confusing. And again, Rowan and I are trying to figure it out ourselves still. So this is who we showed up as today. The words that we shared are from our hearts and from our experiences of growing up in the bodies that we did. If something didn't totally resonate with you, or if you had a different experience, feel free to comment down below and share kind of the pattern that you have developed with food, because we're still working on ours and we are always looking for more inspiration. So thank you for joining in on that conversation with us. And hopefully you can give yourself a nice little piece of pie on Thanksgiving. Unless you don't like pie, then you can have green beans or stuffing. Mac and cheese. Everybody likes mac and cheese.
Yep.
Unless you're lactose intolerant.
Did I say good morning Los Angeles today?
I think no.
Oh my God.
Well, it's a good way to end it.
Good morning Los Angeles.
And we'll see you next week. Bye!